Hi guys, it's Lynn, and today I was inspired to do kind of a different video than I've ever done, although they're all over YouTube, and this is a dupe alert, or is it a dupe video. I was inspired by a video I watched from the very awesome YouTuber Bailey B. She has no idea who on earth I am. She is one of the bigger YouTubers out there, and she is very thorough and does great reviews, has better lighting than me, so if you guys don't want to take my word for it, I hope you will go check out her channel because she does it better than I ever could, and I was completely and utterly inspired to do this video because of her video, so I wanted to make sure I give credit where credit is due. She did a video about the Naked 2 palette, which is right here. You guys are all probably pretty familiar with this. It's been out for a while. I've had mine for several years and I love it. And she compared it to the Makeup Revolution Iconic 2 palette. And this is a drugstore brand that has recently come over from across the pond, and it is available in Ulta. I believe it's available on its own website as well, but you can get pretty much everything at Ulta, and that's where I got this. So she had done a Dupe or Dud video, which is a series that she does, comparing the two of these, and I hope you will go watch that video, but I'm going to go ahead and spoil the end of it for you. She says that it is a dupe. So I was curious. I wanted to test it out for myself. I had the Naked 2 palette already, and so I went and I purchased this along with a couple of other things from Ulta just to A, check out the Makeup Revolution brand, and B, see if indeed this really is a dupe. You may notice I have swatches up and down my arms. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of bright in here. And a few on my hand. I promise there's a reason for that. I wasn't just going, you know, crazy swatching. Well, I was, but so let's go ahead and first of all do a little comparison. Now, first of all, there's no contest on the packaging. This is, I want to say tin, or it's a really nice heavy-duty packaging. It's beautiful. It is sturdy. You can travel with this, no problem. This is straight up plastic. It's much cheaper packaging. However, it is fairly sturdy. I don't think that it would break during light traveling or anything like that. And it is, I will say, it is for drugstore. It is good packaging. Now, when we do a shade-by-shade comparison, go ahead and open this one up since try not to. Now when we do a shade-by-shade comparison, I will say that if it's not a dupe, it sure was trying to be a dupe. Literally, the shade configuration, the number of shades, the layout, all of that is exactly the same on both palettes. And I think that on a lot of the shades, they got it just about right. I am going to show you an up-close view of both of my arms, and we will go down the shades line by line and kind of see what you think and if they indeed got it correct. So this side is the Urban Decay side, and as you can see, Foxy and the other couple of shades didn't show up really well on me. That's pretty normal. My the back of my arm is a little bit more tan. If you put a white base under these, they really do pop. But here is the swatching of the rest of them, and as you can see, like if you look down here at Busted and YDK, some really good pigmentation on those. Here is the Makeup Revolution side, and as you can see, again, Foxy, or their version of Foxy, didn't show up very well on me. That's okay. But a lot of these have very different formulations, very different textures. However, if you look at them together, it's pretty clear that they are trying to be the same palette. On my hand right here, I have Tease, and this is the Makeup Revolution version of Tease, and as you can see, it's not quite as pigmented. It's a little bit more patchy. You have to work with it a bit, but you could definitely do it. Snakebite is where I think they really missed the mark, because this version, this is just flatter. It's still pigmented, but it just doesn't have quite the dimension that Snakebite does. YDK right here, again, I just don't think that their shade is quite as special, and maybe that's because of the Urban Decay packaging. Maybe if I didn't know what it was, I wouldn't be able to tell, but I definitely definitely, I love YDK. It's one of my favorite shades. It's why I bought the palette, or part of why I bought the Naked 2 palette in the first place. Here is Busted, and this is a nice dark shade, and as you can see, Makeup Revolution just didn't live up to it. However, I do think, and it's pretty obvious, that Makeup Revolution is trying to dupe the Naked 2 palette, and I think they did a pretty darn good job. A couple of shades that I don't think they got it 100% on are the ones that I have swatched on my left hand here. I'm starting over here with Busted on the bottom and their answer to Busted on the top. I found that the Busted is much more pigmented, much easier to lay down. This top shade, they don't have a name for their shades, but is much more sheer. It takes layering. It absolutely looks similar, but it is not quite the same. YDK as well, I think there's much more of a sheen to the actual real YDK versus their answer to YDK. And YDK is one of those iconic shades that I really think is difficult to dupe just because of the really cool kind of almost, I don't know, duochrome metallic quality. I'm not really sure, but it's beautiful. And then we have Snakebite. I don't even think they came close on Snakebite, as you see on my arms. I don't think they did it. That one is not, in my opinion, a dupe. Yeah, you could layer it up, but I just don't think it's quite the same. Same thing with Tease. I think that the Urban Decay Tease is a lot more pigmented. However, I will say that the Makeup Revolution Tease, or answer to Tease, it's not Tease, makes a good transfer shade. You can layer it up, and perhaps if you're looking for something more sheer, absolutely that would work. Now as far as quality goes, because coloration is obviously quite close to the same, as far as quality goes, I believe that the Urban Decay formulation is a little bit softer, is a little bit, I don't know, nicer, and I think maybe has a little bit more staying power. These don't crease really at all on me. They don't transfer. I don't have fallout or anything like that, so they're really good, and especially for drugstores, I think these are really good quality shadows. I would absolutely recommend picking this up and using it. I just don't know if it's quite, and plus it's just, you know, when you put on Urban Decay shadows, you kind of feel like you're treating yourself. You kind of feel fancy and special and beautiful and all of those good things, and not that these don't do the exact same thing for you. I think if you watch Bailey's video, she created a look where one eye was one and one eye was the other. I didn't do that, but and I'm trying to keep this one fairly nice because I'm going to send it along to a friend because I have the Urban Decay one. There's no reason for me to have two. But I did want to show you the swatches, compare for you, and say if you are new to makeup and you are thinking of getting one of the Urban Decays, I strongly suggest that you go to Ulta, pick up the iconic 1, 2, and 3, and test them, play with them, and see which one you like the best. That's 20 bucks out of your wallet. You get good shadows that work really well, and then you can decide if one of them is worth it to spend the $54, excuse me, that they are charging for the Urban Decay palettes. I'm not saying that the Urban Decay isn't worth an arm and a leg. It is. It's a beautiful palette. It is so versatile. It is so functional. You can smoke it out. You can go neutral. You can do everything in between, day, night. I mean, and that's a great thing to have in a palette. It has good highlighting shades, good transfer shades, or crease shades. It has a really good black in there, just a deep, rich, beautiful black. It has everything you'd want in a neutral palette. It has warm shades, it has lots of cool shades. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more. And this thing, it answers a lot of those needs as well. So, do I think it's a dupe? Maybe not an exact dupe, but it's definitely something that I would consider picking up before you actually go out and buy the $54 investment. Because if you're like me, if you're on a budget, if you're a mom, if you're not a mom and you just, you know, are on a budget, this might be something you really enjoy using. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you like videos like this, and I will continue to do more of them. Please comment down below if you've ever used either of these products. If you have thoughts or something, I would love to hear them. Thank you guys so much again. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye guys!